Title, Foundation. Foundation and Empire, Second Foundation. Author, Isaac Asimov. Part number 8. Part title, Star's End. Encyclopedia Galactica 116th edition. Entry, Darl, Arcadia. Born the year 362 Foundation era. Died the year 443 Foundation era. Although primarily a writer of fiction, Arcadia Darl is best known for the biography of her grandmother, Beta Darl. It has for centuries served as a primary source of information concerning the rise and fall of the mule and the resurgence of the Foundation.
The Future of Selden's Plan by A. Darl. The Foundation's past history is, I am sure, well known to all of us who have had the good fortune to be educated in our planet's efficient and well-staffed school system. That's good for 5 credit marks from old Erling for a start. Through our possession of the physical science of the Empire, we of the Foundation were able to withstand the attacks of the barbarous kingdoms around the periphery, and eventually to subdue them. It seemed nothing could stop the workings of Selden's plan. Every crisis came at its appropriate time and was solved. Then, with the last remnants of the dead First Empire gone, and with only ineffectual warlords ruling over the splinters and remnants of the decayed Colossus, there came the mule. Oh! What are you doing spying on a lady in her bedroom?
Will you let me in, please?
I am not the kind of girl who lets strange men into her bedroom via the window, even via the door. And you can't force the window, it's got a protective screen, keyed only to the occupants of this house.
One of whom is Dr. Darl, am I right?
Why should I tell you? Oh, if you jump off, young man, I shall raise the alarm.
What do you want me to do?
You'd better come in. Dr. Darl does live here. I'll turn the screen off.
Well, you are risking your character and reputation, aren't you?
No, you are. If anyone comes, I'll shout and yell and say you forced your way in.
And the deactivated protective screen?
Easy, there isn't one.
How old are you?
Don't be impertinent. Oh, don't leave now. My father's expecting you.
What?
Actually, I'm not supposed to know about it.
That seems a forlorn hope on the part of your father. But how do you know he's expecting me?
He was secretive. You're secretive, it's obvious.
Really? And if you're wrong, and he's not expecting me, but someone else?
Then at the slightest move, I'll hit you with my ball court club, which is under my bed.
As we're being so friendly, may I introduce myself? I'm Peleus Anthor.
And I am Arcadia Darl.
Good. Now, perhaps you'd kindly
Arcadia, will you... Oh, who are you, sir?
Dr. Darl, I'm Peleus Anthor. You're expecting me, so your daughter says?
So my daughter says. Oh, will you come with me, please? And oh, Arcadia, you seem to have left the transcriber running. Arcadia, it strikes me that a young lady should not be so impertinent to older men.
Well, why was he looking through my window? A young lady has a right to some privacy.
Then you should never have let him in at all. You should have called me immediately. Especially as you knew I was expecting him.
Anyway, I wouldn't see him at all, stupid man.
Arcadia.
He'll give the whole game away if he keeps on going to windows instead of doors.
What game are you referring to, young lady?
Combating the Second Foundation, that's what.
You have reached the end of your theoretical studies. The time has come for your initiation into the practical workings of the plan.
Yes, Guardian.
Now, study the wall. There you can see the plan in its entirety. A finished work of art, is it not?
Yes, Guardian.
Wrong. It is not finished. That is the first lesson you must unlearn. The Selden plan was neither complete nor correct. It was merely the best that could be done at the time. Generations of our people have studied the equations, worked on them, and improved them. Before you are admitted to the guardianship, you too will have to make an original contribution to the plan. Now, tell me the aim of the plan.
To establish a human civilization based on an entirely different orientation from anything which has ever existed before.
What is this orientation to be?
A civilization based on mental science. In all the history of mankind, advances have been made primarily in physical technology, the capacity to control an inanimate world. Control of self and of society has been left either to chance or to intuitive ethical systems based on inspiration and emotion. The result is that no culture has ever existed of greater stability than 55%, and even these have only existed as the result of great human misery.
Why should not this desired civilization, based on mental science, come about spontaneously, without the plan?
The benefits to be derived from mental science are not perceived by most human beings, because although they are longer lasting than any physical benefits, they are more subtle and less apparent. Therefore, a spontaneous orientation around the mental sciences would at best lead to a benevolent dictatorship by the few who could perceive its benefits, virtually a higher subdivision of mankind. This would be resented by the majority, and could therefore not be stable without the application of force, which would depress the mass of mankind to the brute level.
The solution?
The solution is the Selden plan. Conditions have been so arranged that in another 650 years, a millennium after the plan's inception, a second galactic empire will have been established by the first foundation. At that time, the second foundation will be able to reveal itself and provide the leadership of mental science.
And why is it necessary that the existence of the second foundation should be hidden?
Because the first foundation is still in a very early stage of its development, still at a stage where its population would resent a ruling class of psychologists, and would in fact fear its development and fight against it.
Good.